Hey guys, Wanted here. To everyone who's been waiting for this video, here it is. This is pretty much a celebration for the 100,000 subs that we hit a few days ago. And to everyone who is subscribed to my channel, thank you guys so much for clicking that button. And I don't want to make this intro too long, so let's get right into it. If you guys enjoyed the video, like the video, comment in the comments if you guys want to see more of this type of stuff. And yeah. Alright, starting off with the first juggernaut of the list is D.VA. For those that suffer from shooting baby D.VA, a sticky grenade plus a melee will finish the job, so if you're struggling with hitting your shots, this combo's got you covered. Doomfist in Overwatch 2 is a little bit more challenging since you now no longer have your flashbang to stun him out of his abilities. However, if you time your sticky grenade a second after he puts up his guard, that's an extra 131 damage and it might just be enough to save your life. For Junkrat Queen, make sure you're always saving your roll when you're up close and personal with her, since your roll just might be the reason why you lived. Our Jagged Blade plus Carnage combo will easily make you regret using your roll too early. Orisa is pretty straightforward and simple. Her head hitbox is the size of J3's forehead, so make sure you're always applying pressure. Time your sticky grenade when she's using Javelin Spin so you can get that extra 131 damage in. Reinhardt is a bit more tricky now that McCassidy no longer has a stun. Before, you were able to duel a Reinhardt by stunning over his shield and getting a right click in. However, it's pretty much now impossible for McCassidy to win in a 1v1. He's pretty much Thomas the Train and you're just the tunnel he's about to go through. It's not fun. My biggest tip against Reinhardt is to look and flank the supports or duel the enemy DPS. You'll have a much higher impact in the game doing that rather than staring down at a Reinhardt shield. Roadhog now is pretty much just a tank, so unless your team's got your back, don't take this duel. Since it's gonna receive a nerf a while back, you need to play up close to deal the full 140 damage per headshot, and so you now no longer have your stun, he'll be able to heal his HP back anyways. Make sure you're always holding your roll to bait his hook, and remember to always roll horizontally to dodge his hooks. Against Sigma, if you get high noon before his flux, hold it to leverage against him. Most of the time, Sigma will use his ultimate on you because you're pretty much the least mobile hero in the game, and you might be able to get a kill or two in the air with high noon as well. Also, as a bonus tip, make sure you use your roll horizontally to dodge his geodudes. Winston is pretty bananas now in Overwatch 2. I'd say he's a hard counter to McCassidy since his charge shots deal 50 damage. Unless you're hitting only headshots, he'll be able to outzone you anywhere in the map just like Sigma. My advice against Winston is if he looks like he's trying to commit a dive, make sure you time your roll because roll now reduces all incoming damage by 50%. Also, a bonus tip, if you're getting promo raged, pop your high noon to reduce his damage by 40% and hopefully that will give enough time for your supports to come heal you. Wrecking Ball is also a force now to reckon with. Make sure you're always mindful of where he's coming from since you now no longer have a stun to stop his momentum from booping you and your team. The best tip I can give against Ball is to shoot him whenever possible to add pressure to his dive, and also whenever he's looking to combo his slam with Minefield, use your roll mid-air to avoid all his mines. Zarya is now by far McCassidy's worst nightmare with 2 self bubbles and her damage being over 9,000 when she's fully charged. Unless you're hitting 4 headshots, you'll be getting rolled no matter what. Try to poke her down before engaging, and if she only has 1 bubble left, look to right click her bubble and then throw your sticky grenade to cancel your right click, leaving you with 2 extra shots before either rolling away or into her for a kill. Against Ashe, make sure you time your shots with her strafe to make it easier for you to land headshots. Line up your crosshair at head level and just let her walk into your crosshair. As a side note, since McCassidy now needs an extra shot to kill her because of the general hitscan nerf, it is extremely important to get close enough so you can successfully 2-shot her, otherwise you'll get 2-shot. McCassidy is really straightforward. There's no secret tip that will help you win more 1v1s except whoever lands the shots first tends to have the advantage. Besides just aiming, if you get stuck by a sticky grenade, make sure to roll to reduce its damage by 50%, or if you really need help, ask your supports nicely to go mercy, and I want to emphasize on the nice part because it's not that hard to say please or be nice because of your mercy, you'll pretty much win every single 1v1. Against Echo, as dumb as it sounds, make sure to always shoot her in the air to deny any space she's creating for her team. Also, if you get stuck by her sticky bombs, make sure to always use your roll to reduce its damage by 50%. Bonus tip, if an Echo copies anyone on your team in the air, use your high noon instantly to take her out of her ult. Genji was pretty much an easy matchup in Overwatch 1 since you had a flashbang. However, this is no longer the case. Your only win condition against Genji now is to make sure you land your sticky grenade when he dives you. Also, if he uses Dragon Blade without any damage amplification ability, you can now tank 4 slashes from his ultimate with high noon because of the 40% damage reduction. My only tip against Hanzo is that try to always be moving because his shots are still projectile and he's also shooting logs. Besides that, look for 3 body shots against Hanzo because his head hitbox is really weird, and look to always flank him since he's weak to flanking. Against the Rat or Junkrat, since you're one of the best heroes to deal with his Riptire, make sure it is your priority whenever he's using his ultimate. Besides that, always be mindful of where he is because he can come from literally Narnia to 2-shot you. Against Mei, since you no longer can stun her with your flashbang, my biggest advice against her is the yup, you know it, shoot her. Since her cryo freeze pretty much counters sticky grenade, you can't really do anything special anymore since previously you could bait out her cryo freeze with the melee and then stun her, but now not anymore. Other than that, I'd say keep your crosshair at a chest level since she's thick and beautiful. For Pharah, whenever she uses her boosters in the air, use your high noon instantly and you might get yourself an easy kill. Also, since Cass can now roll in the air, save your roll whenever you're close to a ledge, because it might just save your life. Against Reaper, you're pretty much now a bottom. Back in Overwatch 1, you could bait out his Wraith ability just like Mei's cryo freeze with the melee, however now that's not the case anymore. His entire kit counts as your kit, and the only tip I have against Reaper is to keep your distance. The likelihood of you winning a 1v1 is very slim unless you're just built different and you just hit your shots. Against Sojourn, you're pretty much outclassed in every single way: mobility, damage, usefulness in a team composition, and overall she's just a baddie. So typically my mindset against Sojourn players is to get close as possible to her so I can either 2-shot her with a sticky grenade or just take the aim duel, since her bread and butter still relies on getting a charged railgun shot. Make sure you're always saving your roll to get out of her disruptor shot as well, since it chunks your HP. For Soldier 76, save your roll to dodge his helix rockets. Make sure to always play close range against him since you'll be able to out heal any damage because of the general hit scan nerf change. Soldier will always be able to out DPS you in terms of TTK, which is time to kill, so make sure you're always moving. Sombra, just like Reaper, is an extremely tough matchup when she's invisible. She'll be setting up a dive with her team and you're pretty much just a sitting duck until it happens. At the moment you hear a hack, if you don't hear anything, you're either dead or you're just permanently hacked. Also, since sticky grenade doesn't stay on Sombra once you translocate out, you're pretty much never going to kill her unless she makes a mistake. My tip against Sombra is if she starts focusing on your supports, you need to make sure you can 2-tap her. Against Symmetra, it's not impossible, but if a Symmetra is looking to set up her turrets, make sure to shoot them down to reduce the amount of pressure your team will receive going through choke points. Make sure you're mindful of where she's likely to teleport to and set yourself up for a position to capitalize on. For Torb, look to aim at a J3 level because he's really short. It's a pretty straightforward matchup since his shots are projectile. Look to take large strides left and right, so it makes it harder for him to shoot you by chance. Other than that, if he's using Molten Core, be sure to prioritize shooting him since he can't shoot his load at you. Tracer now is a tough cookie to crumble since McCassidy now no longer has a stun for her. If you don't force Tracer's recall, you'll pretty much never win this matchup unless you're just built different. Stay with your supports because they're your lifeline in this matchup, and if she ever sticks you with a pulse bomb, make sure to roll to mitigate 50% of the damage, or if you have no choice, high noon to mitigate 40% of the damage. Against Widowmaker, especially at long range, you can't really do anything since the general hit scan nerf made it pretty much impossible for Cass to win long range. Back in the day, you were able to 3-shot a Widowmaker in the head at long range, however now it requires 5 to 6. Try not to take this duel at all and just focus on flanking either the supports or applying pressure to the tank. Against Ana, whenever she's scoped in to heal her teammates, always shoot for pressure even if you can't kill her. This will force her to reposition and lose some line of sight on her teammates. This sounds very straightforward, but every damage on supports applies a lot of pressure on the tank and DPS survivability. Also, for bonus tip, make sure to always roll horizontally to dodge your sleep darts. For Baptiste, my advice is to always line up your crosshair up in the air whenever you notice him crouching to use his exo boots. Since he moves in a very predictable direction, it allows for easier shots, and pretty much all Baptiste players love jumping up and down. Against Brig, look to right click her shield, then throw your sticky grenade to cancel your right click, leaving you with 1 bullet. This will allow you to take an extra shot before rolling to finish her off. For Kiriko, if she uses her protection of Suzu on herself, wait a second before throwing your sticky grenade, as it will catch her off guard and allow you to finish the kill. Now, to all my Reddit Lucio players watching this video, I apologize in advance. Against Lucio, if you notice there's a Reddit Lucio up in the skybox, pop your high noon to ruin his entire day. For Mercy, it's pretty straightforward. If an enemy dies, make sure to camp the body because Mercy will definitely look to res her teammate. Save your sticky grenade specifically for the target res if you're unable to kill the Mercy resing. For Moira, this matchup was a lot easier back in Overwatch 1 when McCassidy could bait out her fade with a melee into a stun. However, that is no longer the case, so unfortunately, the best advice I could really give you against Moira is when she's using Coalescence, pop your high noon whenever she's not behind any natural cover. Last but not least, against Zen, since he's the least mobile support hero with no escape ability or a jail free card ability, he's extremely susceptible to flanks. My best advice is to hide high ground where any corner you can find and wait for him to walk to either two-shot him or use the body shot sticky combo. And that's a wrap. I hope you guys all enjoyed this one tip for every hero as McCassidy, and if you guys learned something new or enjoyed the video, be sure to comment and like the video. Also, I'd like to thank everyone again for the 100k subs. Without you guys, I wouldn't be here, and hopefully we can make more videos like these in the future. Thank you all for watching again, and I hope you beautiful, awesome people have an amazing rest of your day.